Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Six Shot, and today I'm bringing y'all a series called What to Do on Block. So basically, the purpose of the video is to teach y'all what do y'all do when your opponent blocks your attack strings, how do you keep yourself safe so you won't get punished, and the first character up in the series that I'm going to teach y'all all about and block strings, stuff like that, is Goku Black. So when it comes to having a good block string, you want your block string to be two things. You want your block strings to be safer at the end of the block string, and you also want your block strings to be airtight, meaning you want your block string to be have no gaps, or if it does have a gap, you want it to have a frame trap like gap. So here's a block string that's safe and that's also have a frame trap like gap. The Kamehameha wave is normally unsafe, but since the block string pushes your opponent out by the time you get to the Kamehameha wave make it safe. And then it has a frame trap like gap because you can't stick normal buttons in between because you will get hit. So I just want to show a couple of examples of how safe this block string really is. This is one of Goku Black's main go-to block strings, and there's a big reason for that I'm going to show later on in the video. But if you're able to complete the whole block string, this block string is literally safe. There's nothing you can do about it. But there is one thing you could do about it in between the gaps, and I'm going to show that in the next clip. So here's an example exactly where the gap is in block string and exactly how you can punish it. The block string can only be punished by a vanish or invincible startup super. That's it. Everything else is too slow and it's going to get stuffed by the Kamehameha wave. So next thing I want to talk about is the vanish attack and how it should be incorporated into your block strings, even though it costs a bar meter. But for that bar meter, it's a hell of a good tool. It's 100% safe, and it's not only that, it's plus on block. I don't know how much plus it is on block, but it got to be at least 3 to 4 frames plus on block. If you mash your light attack after a block vanish, and your opponent mash your light attack after a block vanish, don't matter who guys the fastest light attack in the game, you will always beat them out. But the only thing about the vanish attack is that it could be punished by down heavy. So you gotta be very careful about that. So that's why you don't just throw vanishes out like randomly. You have to put them in your block strings. So here's a quick example of you using a vanish within your block string and then using your plus frames from that vanish to beat out your opponent's next attack. And here's an example of how you could use your vanish as a great option select tool. The first example is your vanish being blocked, but you can apply pressure at that because of the plus frames. And the second example is your Kamehameha wave hitting, but since you're using your vanish as an option select tool, you can continue the combo after that. So now we're going to talk about exactly why we use this block string, and that's because Goku Black has a command grab Kamehameha wave that looks very similar to his regular Kamehameha wave. This is easily a good mixer tool, and you could mix in both of them to trick your opponent. But you gotta be very careful when using the command grab Kamehameha wave, because the command grab Kamehameha wave is a little bit slower than the regular one. Also, the visual cue is Zamasu comes out to grab the opponent, so you can easily dash in to punch the opponent if you're looking out for the command grab, or you can easily just read it and jump it. But you have to jump it at a certain angle, because if Zamasu doesn't grab the opponent, he still shoots out Kamehameha wave, so you have to jump at a high angle. And another reason why this command grab is so good, it's a full screen command grab. No one in this game has the full screen command grab. And if it hits, you can easily vanish to finish your combo off, even though I dropped it. So another move you should start incorporating into your block string game is the light version of the God Slicer. The light version of the God Slicer is very safe. It's 100% safe. You can't punish it at all. And there's a little mix-up gimmick that I use personally with it that I'm going to teach y'all later on in the guide. But right now you're seeing clips of 3 different characters with different light attack speeds trying to punish the God Slicer, and it's not happening at all. You can't punish the God Slicer. So the only problems I have with the God Slicer is that the God Slicer stops your whole offense, and it leaves you right in front of the opponent, so the opponent can easily grab you like so. But you can easily jump the grab if you see it coming, anything like that. So that's not too much of a problem. But there is a counter to jumping after the God Slicer. If you try to jump after the God Slicer and your opponent mashes out their light attacks will hit you out if you try to jump. So that's pretty bad. But there is an option select to that, and that is backdashing. If you backdash and hold back, you're able to get out the range of the grab. And if your opponent was to mash on the light attack button, you're not going to backdash at all. You're going to just automatically block all light attacks or any type of attack that your opponent's trying to throw at you. So that's the option select right there when you have to deal with when you're dealing with that type of mix-up. Or you could just YOLO it out and do what I like to do sometimes. And this is a little gimmick that I like to do that it seems to be working, and I can read and react to it, and I could just throw. You could just throw your level 1 super right after your God Slicer. If your opponent is mashing on buttons after your God Slicer and you throw out your level 1 super, your level 1 super is going to hit. Your level 1 super has invincibility on startup. It seems like it, right? So what I like to do is they block my God Slicer. I pause a second. I read to see if they're going to throw a normal out. If they throw a normal out, I do my level 1 super. And it catches them a lot of the time. But that's pretty much my little gimmick I do with Goku Black. But there is an art when doing this gimmick. If your opponent mashed light attacks right after a block God Slicer, a delayed super is not going to work in this situation. So if you think your opponent's going to mash light attacks, you have to make a hard read and do your super automatically. And here's a couple of examples of after having my God Slicer blocked, me waiting to see if my opponent's going to press a button, and then right after that reacting to their button press. And this is where you could get real gimmicky with your God Slicer. After you make your opponent respect you and not want to press buttons after your God Slicer, you can start doing stuff like this to see if you get away with it. If you're here on, all you have is a read and react situation after you get your opponent to respect your options after the God Slicer. So yeah guys, that's the end of the road today for this video, the What to Do on Block series starring Goku Black. Hopefully you was able to learn something new today, and if you was able to learn something new, please smash the like button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, if you enjoy the content and you want to see more and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I push out Dragon Ball Fighterz content on the regular, so I want all of y'all to stay tuned to that. But besides that, I hope all of y'all have a great day. Peace. Till the lights go out, till my leg give out, can't shut my mouth, till the smoke